Hello, everyone. I know business is a big major everybody's going to be going into college. So I've put together a video on how to make a logo. And a big part of a successful business is a logo. It's the first thing they see. It grabs the attention. It really speaks for the company. Brand identity and having it be memorable is like having a logo and having that symbol helps people realize that's your company. You want a strong first impression. You want people to be interested and want to learn more about your company. It separates it from competition. So, like, let's say there's a coffee logo and there's like 10 coffee places in your town. You want one that's different. So you're going to be using 3 apps, and the first one is Superimpose X, which I think is $1.99 in the App Store, and then Fonto, which is basically just a text app where you put letters on your photos, and then Safari. First thing you want to do is head over to Superimpose and load up a 1x1 photo, and down in the bottom here you could change the color of whatever one you want. And then in Safari you're going to want to look up something that helps resemble your company. So the company I chose is a wing shop. So I went with fire and a chicken. And I went with a font that's pretty common, or it like resembles my company. So I went to Google and searched up fire clip art PNG, which is just going to give you a bunch of pictures like this where you can choose one that you like, and it's very simple. Then I chose this chicken, obviously for wings. And then you're going to want to go into a website called The Font, which is basically a website that shows you all sorts of fonts, whether that be like fancy, like a foreign look, or like a basic. And you can see here the themes that it has. And I went with this font because I felt like it really went with my company. And I downloaded it, and it should show up in the top right corner. And you click on that, and it takes you to your files, and you're going to want to find the zip, and click share, copy it to Fonto, and it's going to give you an ad to watch, and you can download it off that. I already had it downloaded, so I didn't do that part. Then back to Superimpose, you're going to want to load up your PNGs. And right now we're just going to get rid of that chicken one and focus on the fire. So after this, you're going to want to head over to your tools in the mask area, and you're going to want to choose the color range tool, which is the fifth one. Basically you want to tap on that white part because you don't want that part, and you want to get most of all of it out. You don't want the little white edges it has there. So I took that off, and I went over to the the filter, and I clicked on basic, which is on the bottom left, and turned the, what was it? The brightness and contrast all the way up. After that, I went to the colors, or I guess I duplicated it. I made two, which is on here, that duplicating tool, duplicated the layer, and I made that same color, just white. Moved it off to the side. I changed the color of it. I made it like a reddish orange, and laid the other layer on top. And once you do that, you're going to want to make it black so you don't see all of the flame. Just turning the brightness down and the exposure, and then you get something like that. And I moved it a little bit up so you could see the whole flame. So there we have the fire completed. And I went along and went to the text part of it. So I loaded up an empty image and typed in winging, and I changed the font to the one I chose, enlarged it, moved it to the middle, and then I saved that image and just completely got rid of that text, and then put the second part, it. Then I went back into Superimpose X and loaded those two images up. And I used that same tool, the color range tool, to remove the background of each text. I made it real big, covering most of the flame, and just to make it really eye-popping and grab people's attention with it. I made it a little slanted, and I fixed the chicken. And right now I'm going to change the color of the chicken to make it more visible. And I gave it a yellow color. And after that, I clicked on this button, the cast shadow button, which is basically going to give you a shadow of what you have as one of your layers. And this is the winging it layer. And I made the opacity way up. I turned the blur down, and I used this tool to figure out the color of it. So I matched it with my flame. Second, I did the it part and made the same adjustment. And then the chicken, I went for a darker shade, which is that bottom part of the flame. And yeah, that's the logo. So I hope you learned how to make a logo now for your business. There's many other ways. You could have just like a real simple shape to it, or you could have something like very serious. Obviously you don't want flame for your law firm, so you'd probably make like a simple shape. And yeah, thank you.